Hello, what is going on, guys? Phoenix61 here with another World of Warships Legends video. We are rocking the Shimanto tonight, so, I've had this ship for, I don't know, like a week or so now, so, like, at least, I think. We've definitely done some games with it on live stream, and I've definitely been playing with it quite a bit as well. I didn't have, like, a great game that I wanted to like post to the channel, right? So this one's pretty good, right? I had like a lot of good games, like consistent good games, but I was like, they just weren't as crazy entertaining, right? So this one, I don't know, we're just kind of sending through like zoning torps, whatever you want to call them, right? So like a lot of times you just like, by the time these torpedoes get through the zone, like all of these ships are gonna have most likely changed course by the time they get there, right? So like I have my like ups and downs with long range torpedoes, right? Like it's like sometimes you shoot them out there and you get a real lucky hit that you didn't expect, and then sometimes you shoot them out there thinking you're guaranteed to hit and you don't get anything, right? So I'm gonna try and sneak in the zone, right? So my original thought here was to try and sneak in the zone, but I think our plans get foiled here. But since we don't have any destroyers, I was like, you know what, like maybe I've got decent concealment, maybe I can sneak in there without getting picked up, but there's just kind of too much right there living on the edge. There's carriers, right? So I'm just like, man. And then I'm not sure what's going on with our carrier, but he is he's just YOLO pushing into the zone. I think he wants to get that help with the zone capture. I don't know what he's thinking, but he's doing it. And I was like, at first I was just like in disbelief. Like I saw it before this, and I was like, he's getting kind of close. He's not gonna like keep going, is he? Like I just like didn't think he would do that. Like it's tier 7. Like you've played some carrier games, right? Like you know that it's gonna die easily. Like the second you get spotted, like. We get a torpedo hit though. Looked like it was either on a cruiser there. Yeah, we get a second one, so we took out the Algerie. And then I was kind of like, all right, you know what? Maybe we can kind of flank a little bit here, but that already put us up to 42,000 damage. So these torpedoes are brutal, and then one more got us up to 64 with some flood that had, I don't know, it looked 61 and then it went to 64, but yeah, so maybe we got a little bit of flood, I don't know. But yeah. And then we see a fellow Shimanto out there. So it's Rochester and the Shimanto. I'm like, all right, between the two of these guys, we might be able to send some more torpedoes up this way. See what happens with these, right? We know the Shimanto has torpedoes of his own, so we have to kind of be cautious. And let's see if we can get some bullets on these guys as well, but we've also kind of pulled them away from the zone as well. Like, if you notice, like, they're like, oh, they're kind of a little bit more focused on me. And it's going to allow my teammates that are still way behind me, aside from the carrier that's now dead, but it's going to allow them to at least kind of push forward, right? So we take out the Rochester. We'll damage con the fire for now. We can see the Shimanto torpedoes way out there. I think the carrier must have picked them up for us, right? Then we'll see if we can't get unspotted here, and then we'll make a circle back through and see if we can't help get the zone cap, right? But not sure what's going on with my teammates, but they're still way back behind zone C. These guys could have been doing some damage to these cruisers and helping out, but I do always kind of say, like, in order to have like really good games, you have to kind of have some people that aren't that great on your team too. Like, otherwise, like, if everyone's doing their jobs and playing, semi correctly, like, then all the damage and XP numbers just are like spread so evenly across the board, and it looks like a boring game, right? So I do maintain you do need to have some bad players on your team to have these good games, right? Alright, yeah. We'll head towards the zone, see if we can't get the capture. A lot less people in the area this time. And then I think we did, for the time being, we've scared off the other Shimanto between us and the, there's this battleship here, right? So if I were him, I probably would, you know, kind of, I mean, I'd probably be doing something similar, but, you know, you do get this, like, advantage of, like, decent concealment and then the longer range torpedoes, so, like, you could stay, you know, not fire your guns and just dump torpedoes through the zone, but he did fire his gun, so he got picked up. So, of course, our battleship and other cruiser take shots at him. My biggest concern right now, so we got the Maya through there in Zone B getting that capture, and then this New Jersey, right? So because this New Jersey is not looking at us, he's hyper-focused on somebody else, we're able to kind of get away with not really caring that we get spotted. And I actually used the sonar here thinking the Shimanto was probably going to be sending torpedoes through the zone, and then we did pick up the torps from the, I think that was the Maya as well. So yeah, so here come the Shimanto's torps, right? So that worked out really, really well. Some ships, I forget that they have, you know, longer range torpedoes. So, crisis averted there. And we'll keep seeing if we can't get a fire or something else going with these Azure Lane, New Jersey. Maya's also not looking at us. And since he was kind of broadside, and I was kind of thinking he would maybe turn more broadside, I switched to AP. But now it looks like he's turning away. And there's the zone capture. I'm not sure why we got the we got the solo banner. I don't know if maybe our battleship support, maybe he was just getting hit a lot. I don't know, but normally he would get an assisted, right? I guess if you've done the majority of the capturing, I guess. Maya's gonna hit the land, so we'll take advantage of that. We know to just shoot right at him, or maybe even a little bit behind him. And we pick up that kill for kill number 3. So I shot those torpedoes out there just in case that Shimanto like does a full-on 180 and comes back to try and challenge the zone, right? I'm like, at some point, like, if you want to win the game and you're not able to support the objectives, right? Like, we captured that one, right? So, like, somebody's got to come back from the other team and either take it back or kill us all, right? So, if, you know, I kind of preach this as well. Like, you know, if people are leaving the objective, right? Like, if enemies are just going, like, way far away from objectives, I just let them go. Like, don't chase them down because it's going to waste your time. Go for the objectives, let them come back to you. You'll have, you know, typically you'll have allied support, right? So I'm a huge fan of not chasing down enemies that are running away from objectives, right? Once they get too far out, they can't support, they're going to lose on points at some point, right? They might still be alive, but they're going to lose on points. So we got that zone cap. We'll see if we can't steal B back. And we're up to 93,000 damage. With no one spotted. We've got the ship advantage too. Like, you'd think these guys over at A would just be going, you know, plowing full force towards their carrier at this point, but yeah. So I was keeping an eye on the airplanes, just making sure they weren't coming down for me. If they were, then I would probably turn in towards them, but since they're not, I'm going to turn away so that we're going to kind of prep ourselves for heading out into open waters once we get this zone captured, right? Shimanto is just outside of our firing range, but I'm gonna hold off firing our guns because that's gonna get us spotted, right? So we can at least get the zone captured, and then we'll head out and do our work, right? So this is like another like thing where it's just like, you know, if you don't get the zone, like, yeah, you're most likely gonna win this game. But if you run into a scenario where these ships really are just like spend the rest, you know, the last 5 minutes running away, you may shorten the game by a little bit just by winning on points instead of having to wait out the timer, right? So Lexington looks like he is just now deciding to start backing up, which is going to be his mistake, right? So pretty much everyone on my team could probably shoot him at this point. Hipper also has a lot of health. We'll see if we can't get a cheeky shot on him. He's focused on our other cruisers, right? The other trick to having good games is not getting shot at, right? Only people would just not shoot at me. So he's he's 2-on-1 over there. So I'm gonna kind of have some faith that they'll be able to get him. If not, yeah, the Hipper. Yeah, he took out our Helena. Okay. We may have to play mop up over there as well. But this is just, at this point, this is huge that we still have a battleship and they don't, right? Like, since it's mostly cruisers in this game, that's giving us a big advantage. We could theoretically send the torpedoes since he's not really going to, he's going to hit the back of the map eventually anyway, but I'm just like, he's probably going to die before they get there anyway, right? Yeah. Iowa got him. We'll send some this way. I mean, it's just that, there's going to be like it would have to be a freak chance at this point that Shimanto would turn around and come towards us and not be dead. Right? But I'm just like, I got him, I'll send him. I don't care about my torpedo hit percentage, whatever. Means nothing to me. Can we get the Hipper? And if only we could get if we could get both of these kills, that would put us at a Kraken. Is that fire on that Shimanto? Is that from us? I don't think it is. I think somebody else is going to get that kill. Ooh. Can we make it happen? Oh, he's like broadside to that other cruiser. That's not going to work out for us. There he goes. Yeah. Almost. Always on the verge of the Kraken. Always. So we'll see where we end up on the leaderboard. I was kind of expecting to be on the top there, seeing as how we had the zones capped. And then those kills, plenty of damage, right? Made some silvers. Some moolahs, right? I was kind of curious at this point, now that we've played quite a few games with the Shimanto, I was like, I'm going to go and check the stats. So this is something I don't normally pay too close attention to, but I was like, I feel like I'm winning the vast majority of the game. So we do have a win rate in standard right now of 70%. I'm sure that'll go down. I feel like I was running into that with the one of the newer British battleship tech trees and lines, right? Where like I was doing really great with those ships, and then I feel like, as people started getting used to how to deal with those ships, right, that it was like it kind of went down, right? But so here's the commander build for this. So this is the unique one that came from the previous calendar event when when this tech tree or ship line was released, right? So I'm gonna imagine at some point we'll be able to get this commander again at some point, but yeah, that's what the calendar event was for. I think if I didn't have this, I would probably do my regular Japanese sort of cruiser fire starter build, right? We would just have quite a bit less built into the torpedoes, but as you can see here, we've put pretty much everything in torpedoes that we can. With the exception of the inspiration I put into cruiser main battery range, right? So but that is our first, I'm pretty sure this is our first Shimanto game. Like I said, outside of live streaming that we've been doing, we've been playing a few games here and there with the ship. I'm excited to get the tier 8, so we will play that as soon as we get that one. But yeah, so make sure, and yeah, outside of live stream. So yeah, make sure you're following the channel, that way you can tune in for live streams. I really do appreciate you guys that hang out and routinely watch me. You're my faves. But yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.